since it can create only like itself. Remember that in being, there is no difference between having and being, as there is in existence. In the state of being, the mind gives everything always. The Bible repeatedly states that you should praise God. This hardly means that you should tell him how wonderful he is. He has no ego with which to accept such thanks, and no perception with which to judge such offerings. But unless you take your part in the creation, his joy is not complete because yours is incomplete. And this he does know. He knows it in his own being and its experience of his Son's experience. The constant going out of his love is blocked when his channels are closed. You hear that? The constant going out, the constant extension of his love is blocked when his channels are closed. And he is lonely when the minds he created do not communicate fully with him. Oh dear. How many guilty marks do you get for that? How bad should you feel? Don't waste your time feeling bad, but just understand the way it works. Joy is supposed to be your experience, and joy is supposed to be the Father's experience. And so, everybody should just get back to the business of doing what allows that joy to be, rather than engaging in this idiotic preference to try to be independent and make independence real. And as a result, constantly feel an undercurrent that causes you to mistreat each other. Continuing, God has kept your kingdom for you, but he cannot share his joy with you until you know it with your whole mind. Even revelation is not enough, because it is communication from God. It is not enough until it is shared. And again, that doesn't mean shared with your cat or your flower garden. It means with a brother or a sister. Continuing, God does not need revelation returned to him, which would clearly be impossible, but he does want revelation brought to others. This cannot be done with the actual revelation because its content cannot be expressed, and it is intensely personal to the mind which receives it. It can, however, still be returned by that mind. How? Through its attitudes to other minds, which the knowledge from the revelation brings. This is how you praise God. Not by turning around and shooting the revelation right back to him, but by sharing it with your brothers. Confirming infinite oneness rather than singular isolation. God is praised, continuing, God is praised whenever any mind learns to be wholly helpful. Helpful. Well, that sounds like caring to me. That means being thoughtful. That means having someone on your mind beside yourself in a caring way, not in the way Paul was treating Susan the last 2 weeks, not in the way that any of you have treated each other when what you were doing was trying to secure your privacy. God is praised whenever any mind learns to be wholly helpful. This is impossible without being wholly harmless, because the two, helpfulness and harmlessness, the two beliefs coexist. The truly helpful are invulnerable because they are not protecting their egos, so that nothing can hurt them. Do you see that? This is a key sentence. The truly helpful are invulnerable because they are not protecting their egos, so that nothing can hurt them. Hurt, therefore, is inseparable from an ego in the act of self-protection. And that's the only source of hurt. That means there's only one thing you need to stop doing. We're not talking about 50 lessons you must learn that have 10,000 little adjustments you have to make in order to come back in alignment with the way things really are, enough to promote a change. There's only one thing you need to stop doing. Again, the truly helpful are invulnerable because they are not protecting their egos, so that nothing can hurt them. Their helpfulness, in other words, involvement with a brother or sister where kindness and thoughtfulness and caring is being expressed, is their praise of God. And He will return their praise of Him because they are like Him, and they can rejoice together. God goes out to them and through them, and there is great joy throughout the kingdom. Every mind that is changed adds to this joy with its own individual willingness to share in it. Those last three words need to be in bright red. Every mind that is changed adds to this joy with its own individual willingness to what? Share in it. The truly helpful are God's miracle workers, whom I direct until we are all united in the joy of the kingdom. Another way of saying that is the joy of our right mind, where no little part of it has tried to box itself off from the rest. I will direct you to wherever you can be truly helpful, but, and this isn't in the book, I can't do that until something in you wants to be truly helpful. And that means being helpful in accomplishing something beyond self-protection. I will direct you to wherever you can be truly helpful, and to whoever can follow my guidance through you. My guidance. Well, it's not my personal guidance, and I hope that's clear to all of you by now. It's not some really neat guidance that I came up with that I want to spread around the universe through you guys. My guidance is nothing more and nothing less than the Father's will being extended to you in language that has meaning for you and in ways that help your mind re-recognize itself and become willing to stand forth on its own, if I may put it that way, without employing the ego for any reason. I hope as we continue on that it will become clearer and clearer to you how little is required to wake up. There's only one thing you need to do, or as we said, two things. One is to abandon your independence by turning to the Father and saying, help, or saying, thy will be done. And doing that in the context of wanting to do His will for your brother or your sister. And I have certainly been illuminating for some time now the fact that you are the Christ right now, using your mind in a way that causes you not to recognize yourself. And you are doing this with all of the fullness of the Christhood that you are. If you want to put it this way, the divine power of your being. And so there is nothing weak about you at this moment. You are, with the power of the universe, enforcing darkness and blindness and ignorance upon yourself and claiming that this is your normal state of being. Therefore, all the power in the universe, that is the very nature of your being, stands ready for you to make a new decision. So you can't claim that it will take you a long time to wake up because you're nothing but a pissant mortal, a little puny ego that's going to have to refine itself over many lifetimes. And as a result of studying many thought systems, or that what you're called upon to do is really, really hard, and therefore, it's going to take a long time. So I'm uncovering to you how simple it is, how little it takes, and that because you haven't, even at this very moment, stopped being the ultimate expression of God, you include within yourself everything that is necessary to make the shift. You already include it in yourself, and you are employing all of the power to create for yourself at this moment the experience you're having. So you don't have to recharge your batteries. You don't have to gas up. with a higher octane fuel, all you have to do is stop saying that I'm not the Christ. I'm not what you're saying I am. I know what I am, and I know it's going to take a long time, because I've got to change from what I am into something I'm not. And that kind of adjustment is going to be hard. And you can't expect me to do it overnight. So, like a drop of water wearing away on a rock, I will keep pointing out the simplicity of this so that you don't continue to overwhelm yourself with the so-called impossibility of waking up, or the so-called difficulty of waking up. And the closer you come to an inner feeling that it's going to be easy, the sooner it's going to happen. And I'm hanging in here with you until you're willing to accept the possibility that it might be utterly simple. Not only that it truly is your birthright, and you aren't what you thought you were. And we will call it a day. It's joy to express the truth. It's even more joy that you're listening. Because that means that there's more oneness, there's more communion, there's less defended isolation. And so more of the Brotherhood is experiencing its wholeness. You must remember that whatever tinges of wholeness you might be experiencing at this moment that's new for you constitutes a new level of wholeness for all of the rest of the Brotherhood that is already awake. Because now more of their infinitude is connected with them. So the gift you give is one that's received universally. I love you. And I look forward to being with you next week.